How dare you enter my house?
This is a community matter, and I have every right to be here.
The front door slammed so hard, the picture frames in my hallway rattled like bones in a storm. I froze at the living room threshold, coffee halfway to my lips, as a woman in her 50s stormed into my kitchen like she owned the deed to my soul. Bleached hair, blazer too tight at the shoulders, clipboard raised like a sword. On her lapel, a shiny green pin gleamed. President of the HOA. "This is your third violation this month," she shrieked, voice slicing through the house. "Your grass is half an inch too tall. Your garbage cans were visible for 37 minutes past pickup time. And that mailbox," she waved her pen at it like it had personally offended her bloodline, "is a disgrace to this neighborhood." She brushed dust off my countertop with her finger, inspecting it like a forensics tech, then actually opened my refrigerator. "Excuse me," I said slowly, forcing calm into my voice. "You need to leave my house." She spun toward me, eyes blazing with the certainty of someone who had never been told no. "I am Karen Thompson, president of the HOA," she announced, "and I have every right to inspect properties for compliance." 3 weeks earlier, I'd moved here for peace. After 20 years as a detective, I wanted quiet weekends, grilling burgers, maybe growing tomatoes. Instead, I'd become the HOA's favorite target. Mailbox too low, oil stain microscopic, flag not the correct shade of blue. Neighbors had warned me. "That's just the HOA under Karen," they'd sighed. "She thinks she runs a military base." Standing there while she rummaged through my home, I realized something chilling. She didn't just represent the HOA, she had become it. I tried to ignore Karen at first, pretended she was just background noise in a life finally free from sirens and crime scenes. But she didn't fade into the background. She escalated. First came the barbecue. A few neighbors, classic rock humming low, burgers flipping under the orange glow of sunset. By 6:30 p.m., she appeared at my gate holding a tape measure like a loaded weapon. 4.7 feet, she declared after measuring the grill's distance from the property line. HOA regulations require 5. From that moment on, my life turned into psychological warfare. Every morning, an envelope waited on my door. "Your hedges are asymmetrical. Your doormat is not regulation brown. Your vehicle faced the wrong direction for 14 minutes. At night, flashes erupted beyond my fence like paparazzi chasing a scandal. Once, I caught her standing on a stepladder, peering into my garage. "I'm documenting architectural inconsistencies," she'd said sweetly. Then came the gossip. Karen had created a private neighborhood Facebook group dedicated entirely to me. She posted doctored photos of my lawn, photoshopped to look diseased, captioned, "Some people don't belong in Willowbrook." The day everything snapped, I was in my backyard repairing warped fence boards, headphones in, classic rock drowning out the world, sweat on my brow. Peace in my hands. I didn't hear my front door open, but she did. Karen watched me leave the house again and again, arms full of lumber. She noticed the unlocked door. To her, it wasn't an oversight. It was an invitation. 45 minutes later, thirsty and tired, I stepped back inside and walked into a crime scene of my own life. My mail was spread across the dining table. Bills, bank statements, my mother's birthday card. Kitchen drawers hung open like broken ribs. Karen stood over them, photographing everything. She didn't even flinch when I spoke. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" Karen straightened slowly, clutching her clipboard like armor. "I'm conducting a lawful HOA inspection," she said with the confidence of someone who had never been challenged. "You've been reported for multiple violations. I have authority to investigate." "No," I replied, already recording on my phone. "What you're doing is called breaking and entering." She laughed. Sharp, dismissive. "The HOA charter gives me full inspection rights." I smiled, just a little, enough to make her falter. "Really? Then show me where it says you can enter a private residence without consent." Her fingers trembled as she flipped pages, stalling. "It's implied." I opened my wallet. The badge glinted in the kitchen light like a blade. "Detective James Morrison, 20 years on the force." Her face drained of color so fast I thought she might faint. "And that camera in the corner?" I added. "It's been recording since you came in, so has the one in the kitchen, and the front door cam caught you sneaking inside." Her clipboard hit the floor. "This is a misunderstanding," she whispered. "I thought I heard you say come in." "Through noise-canceling headphones?" I said, dialing my phone. "That's impressive." Her knees buckled. "Wait, please. I'll resign. I'll approve everything. I'll pay for your fence." Crime doesn't work that way, Karen. The sirens were already on their way. If this story is hitting you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. The patrol cars arrived in a storm of red and blue. Karen sat frozen at my dining table, mascara streaking down her cheeks like melting war paint. Officer Martinez watched the footage on my phone, Karen opening drawers, photographing mail, flipping through my calendar. His jaw tightened. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "stand up and put your hands behind your back." "You can't arrest me," she shrieked. "I know the mayor." The cuffs clicked shut anyway. The sound echoed through my house like a closing chapter. Neighbors spilled onto their lawns as she was walked out, hands bound, dignity in pieces. Mrs. Chen clapped. Someone whistled. Bob across the street raised his beer in a silent salute. 2 weeks later, the charges were official: criminal trespass, unlawful entry, attempted identity theft. Her lawyer husband begged for mercy. The prosecutor didn't blink. The HOA called an emergency meeting. Karen sat in the back row, eyes swollen, as neighbors stood one by one to testify about years of harassment, tape measures, fines, intimidation. The vote was unanimous. Removed as president. Her real estate agency dropped her within days. Then the headline hit the front page: HOA president arrested for breaking into officer's home. Her booking photo said everything. No clipboard, no authority, just a woman finally facing the rules she'd weaponized. I rebuilt my fence that weekend, invited the neighbors over, grilled burgers, played music loud enough to feel alive. Willowbrook finally felt like home. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to believe that karma still works.